So he resurrects the robot in Kirsty Swanson's body.
Wow, this
And
sounds awful.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
She gets a basketball and throws it at the Where's the Beef woman's head, which explodes because on impact. the head, not the basketball. The basketball's fine.
Yeah, right.
Because it also becomes the deadly friend or something. I don't know.
I don't know if you guys play basketball, but that happens quite a bit, actually.
Yeah,
Anytime a basketball makes contact with a head,
Right,
explosion.
it's gone.
Yeah.
See, that's
Very
why I stay
violent
away
game.
from these blood sports or the head explosions.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
He jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted headwards like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fool.
Real nice.
Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as seals.
Shut up. No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Sitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Brown Carpet Podcast.
Welcome back to the Brown Carpet Podcast. My name's Corey Farrell.
And I am Josh Groom.
And the From the Vault episode this week, it was a Halloween special way back in 2020 or 2019, 2018.
I want to say 2018.
Wow.
Yeah.
You'll be able to see how young we were.
Young and beautiful.
Yeah.
I think you were carrying a fair bit of water weight at the time, but apart from that, a handsome young man.
Yeah, Josh hasn't aged. But anyway, we won't get into that. This was a great episode. We had the illustrious author now, Anthony O'Connor.
You might know Anthony from his recent novel, Emma After, a fantastic bit of work.
And Australia before that was a great read.
Oh yeah, science fiction, dystopian, get amongst it.
So go out and buy his books.
But this episode, Seamen, is a creepy one set on the high seas with a bunch of Indian revelers who took it a little bit too far.
That's right. Nick Cage, Tropical Storm, are they the same thing? Find out.
I have the story right here. So the headline of the story that we will be adapting today is Bucks Night for 1,200 people, families horrified by cruise bender. So this is a nautical tale.
Yeah,
Let me talk you through the story. A dream cruise for dozens of Australian families hijacked by more than 1,000 men from an Indian tobacco company on a wild work bender has forced Royal Caribbean International to apologise to distraught passengers and issue mass refunds. The lavish Voyager of the Seas was turned into the Voyager of the Sleaze shortly after leaving port when roughly 1,300 employees from Indian company Kamla Pasand took over the ship's pool deck and bars, blocking shocked passengers from many parts of the vessel.
I think they're using the word lavish loosely for a cruise ship as well, too.
So. Burlesque dancers and scantily clad women dressed as Playboy bunnies were brought on board by the pirates of the Royal Caribbean, sending the huge contingent of colleagues into a frenzy as they jigged and jived on the ship's main deck. They jigged and jived.
They jigged and jived.
Yep.
I mean, one is appropriate.
Yeah.
You can
Both.
jig.
You can jig, but
You can jive.
Not
Add that shit
simultaneously.
together. That is the real forbidden
That
dance.
is awful. Workers from the Boozy Company conference in September accounted for more than a third of the ship's capacity of 3,000 passengers, meaning the
Why
much...
not just say over 1,000?
Yeah, they could have just said
Like,
that.
I don't want to have to do fucking maths.
Yeah. What's that as a
I'm
percentage?
reading your stupid tabloid. Don't make me have to do sums as well.
yeah.
Meaning that the much-coveted buffet was off-limit to many guests who were ushered into other restaurants on board. The workers also brought crates and crates of their own food onto the ship, which underwent extensive refurbishments in 2014. But guys, it gets worse.
That's a weird thing to add at the end of that sentence. Like, they bring crates of food, and by the way, the ship got a reno in 2014.
Yeah. You should see the new poop deck.
It's a lovely poop deck.
Did you mention the Renault? Oh, just squeeze it in at the
Brian, put the Renault in. They're paying us for it.
But guys, it gets much worse.
Oh, jeez.
In an extraordinary turn of events, even bingo, usually a staple of cruises worldwide, was
Sacred.
cancelled due to lack of interest from the passengers on board, who seemed more interested in the poolside cabaret.
Too much jigging and jiving.
Too much
Too much
jiving.
frivolity.
Yes.
First they came for the buffet, but I said nothing because I wasn't hungry.
Yeah.
Then they came for the bingo.
The families have all been issued refunds.
Oh, thank God.
So
Thank God.
there is a happy ending
Yeah.
at the end of it all.
It's a lot to unpack there.
It is.
Yeah.
A bit of casual racism going in there for a start.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
a
The
lot-
crates and crates of food thing.
Crates of food. You can just, there was like some pursed face, like white bitch be like, no, it's the way it smells. I
They're bringing
suppose
their
they
own
call
food.
They're bringing their own food on the boat.
Can't have my bangers and mash with that odour in the background.
How am I supposed to smell my own disappointment at life if their spicy food smells are wafting around like a half-remembered nightmare?
Well, whose story do you reckon it is? I mean, is it the story of the Indian the Indian workers? Is it the story of the families? We got some burlesque dancers on board,
Burlesque dancers are always a good story prompt.
aren't they?
You know,
Yeah,
that's an interesting visual job to
Absolutely.
focus on.
Yeah.
And
Would they be jigging and jiving as well?
look, I'm not a professional. My only experience with burlesque is from a distance, often hiding in a closet. So yeah, it's not. I'm no expert. Yeah, I mean they've got to be the ones jigging and jiving, but maybe they notice from their perch where they got up in here. I don't know if they're go-go boot thinging. They could be go-go boot thinging. That's a thing that I saw in a movie, probably.
Yeah, like in a cage, right? Normally,
Yeah.
like a go-go cage.
Yeah,
They can be.
they can be.
That's an option. But burlesque is usually it's the absence of nudity. It's about the tease. It's not about
It's the tease.
It's not a strip
Dita
thing.
Von tease.
Yes.
Right.
So
But she sometimes pops out a nipple.
that rhymes.
She will occasionally.
Yeah.
But doesn't
With
she have
a
a pasty
tassel.
on?
It's
A
a
little
tassel.
It's got a
pasty
pasty,
spinning.
yeah.
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 Spinning thing.
I've seen some boob choreo.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Like simultaneous
With the nipple
spinning?
tassel. Yeah, and getting like one going, then the other going, and then both going that way, and then
Oh,
that
different
way. Yeah.
directions.
So that's
Yeah.
impressive.
That is talented.
It's great.
That is good.
Sorry, I've lost the thread completely, but
are we
I'm
talking
having a
about?
good time.
All right, so I had one idea, I've got to
Okay.
say, when I first read this. Speaking of the burlesque dancers,
Right.
why don't we make a particular burlesque dancer our lead? We'll go with a strong female lead.
Yep.
I'm thinking La Tigre. She's a burlesque dancer brought on board.
Is she part tiger?
No, she likes to wear leopard print. So she's got
Right.
the leopard print
Okay.
G.
Why isn't she a leopard?
La Tigre sounds sexier, mate.
I don't know.
You don't? Okay.
A leopard can carry 3 times its weight into a tree. That's
an
pretty
excellent
sexy.
factoid. That is
You
an
sell a
Pretty
leopard.
sexy. Yeah.
She's called La Tigre.
All right.
Stay with me. So
Madonna,
on the
Madonna
opening
Fine.
night, she does her jigging and jiving up on stage. Then on her way back to her cabin, she's followed by a few shady-looking workers. They've had a bit too much to drink. She gets nervous. She
Cabin
runs. No, some of the Indian workers.
Okay.
They've been pissing her up all night. They love the look of La Tigre. They're following her back to her cabin. She gets nervous.
I think shady is a racist description.
It's a little
but
bit racist.
Anyway.
Would you have gone with the dusky coloured?
Oh, you guys brought all that coloured stuff up. I've just said shady.
Okay.
Right.
As in sketchy, as in
Hey, human
dodgy.
beings are all different shades,
Yeah,
Josh.
different shades, Josh.
You don't have to tell me.
Don't have to get pigment policey over here.
Because my parents are South African doesn't mean I'm 100% racist. Anyhow,
Like
she
73, 74.
La Tigre goes overboard. She falls overboard and she drowns.
Oh, literally overboard.
Is she thrown overboard?
yes. No, let's say in the struggle,
Right.
she
fights
attempts
free and-
to find free and she goes overboard. Right. Now these guys are drunk, so they say nothing. They just let her sink into the black depths. We get a shot of La Tigre sinking to the bottom of the ocean. Then, Sirens of the Sea.
Hang on.
Are you guys aware of Sirens of the Sea? Do you know what a...
They're
creatures-
like an alarm.
Is it Greek mythology?
They're
or
like
Roman
mermaids
mythology?
that
Oh,
call
and they sing
they
and
call
they
the
unwary
seamen.
gentlemen.
Yeah,
to the
they
men.
bring them
Yeah.
to the rocks, so they shatter their ships.
So listen, the sirens just came out of nowhere. Is that what you're saying?
They're in the ocean, mate. We're already afloat. So the sirens see this beautiful girl.
Why,
Are we-
why
are we
aren't they
sitting-
wooing? Because
yeah.
they're meant to woo unwary sailors.
They were about to start wooing when all this commotion went on.
So she's interrupted.
She's
They've interrupted the wooing.
Interrupted the wooing.
Right.
She sinks to the bottom. They see this happen. It's like she's one of them. They see her as a human siren of sorts.
Right.
She brings men unto her with her looks and her beauty and such. And so they
She's not though. She's just been thrown off a ship. I mean, that's the very opposite of
Mate,
bringing
they
men.
see parallels, all right? They
Men
see-
literally threw her off the ship.
Okay, you're fighting with me, but let me get to the nuts
All right,
and bolts
okay.
of my story here.
No.
Oh,
They,
please,
they,
please.
they resurrect La Tigre as a force of nature to go back on the boat. So we watch La Tigre clamber back up into the boat. She's now kind of like part siren, part resurrected force of evil, if you will.
Yeah.
And she's now got the ability to shapeshift into her spirit animal, the tiger. So she's shapeshifting between a burlesque dancer and a tiger,
Right.
and she goes on a rampage around the boat, just basically eating Indian men for the rest of the film. Savage.
It's just odd to me for a tiger at sea. That's it. I
Yeah.
can't get past that.
Life of Pi.
It is Life of Pi.
Yeah.
It's like a supernatural Life of Pi revenge story.
Yes.
That's super racist because Josh came up with it from South Africa, and
And it's
so it's
Okay,
it's basically
fine.
a white woman as a leopard, no tiger,
La Tigre.
eating a bunch of Indian gentlemen at sea.
Yep.
I can't see anyone having a problem with that.
No,
I
what's-
just, you know.
yeah. No, I'm not feeling it.
Okay, we'll set it aside.
I like that the
put it-
sirens were interrupted though. They're like, "Come on, girls, we're gonna woo some sailors.
They're just
Gonna bring
about
the
to
seamen." I
start.
was like, "Oh, some chick's falling down. She's wearing a leopard outfit. Maybe her name's La Leopard." Oh,
We've
I
got
don't think so.
we've got some contributions here. Tom Drury has said, "Bad smokes from tobacco company cause thriller-style jigging and jiving zombie virus."
There you go.
Hey,
Hey, there is something in that.
cursed tobacco.
Cursed tobacco,
That's
but
not bad.
I think we want to avoid the zombie we've done a bit of zombie stuff here before.
Shambling Nan we did recently. That
That's
was a zombie
right.
film. So
Yeah.
let's not go with zombies, but I like the cursed tobacco thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we could bring that back.
Nice.
So where do we go with that?
So we're tossing my siren to the sea, La Tigre.
I think it tossed itself. To be honest, it tossed itself down to the sirens
Let's
and
keep that fathoms
Yes, are the
where no
worst.
one ever has to hear it again. Fathoms
to
below.
Davy Jones. Okay, fine.
But cursed tobacco.
Cursed tobacco. Okay,
I mean,
let's
in
go with
a
this.
way, all tobacco's cursed.
Kind of
'cause,
is.
You know, it's killy.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it causes death eventually.
It could be a slow grift.
So they're a tobacco company. These in Josh's words, dusky-coloured gentlemen.
Not mine or yours.
No.
How am I the racist now? Corey is usually.
It happens all around.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And so it's been cursed by whom?
Well, where did the tobacco come from?
Right.
We need to go to
Where
the
does
source.
tobacco come from?
Tobacco comes from all over the world, but
Right.
I know some of it comes from like Georgia in the south.
Oh, okay.
Oh, like America, Georgia.
America, Georgia,
Not
yeah.
other Georgia.
No.
Okay.
So maybe if the tobacco is cursed, let's root it in some hate crime or some past injustices. So maybe it
It's
comes
a bit
from
of a slave stronghold
slave
down there.
farm,
Yeah.
slave plantation,
Sure.
uprising,
Oh, yeah.
slave owner killed,
Right.
Right.
Django Unchained style.
Evil
Django
white
Unchained
man
style.
taken down.
voodoo,
Cut his throat.
curse. Let's just say curse.
Sure.
Curse the farm, curse the tobacco,
Blood went into
tainted
the
the
soil.
tobacco. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, like, for
The last crop that ever grew on that property,
yeah.
harvested, cursed tobacco. So we follow that tobacco.
They probably wouldn't be able to sell it for a while, so they're gonna sell it to like a
Well, there
like
was
a
all the
third
killing,
world country.
so-
There was the killing.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're gonna like send it to an Indian company might want cheap tobacco.
Got it on the cheap.
Got it on the cheap. On the
Sure.
shonk. Bit
Yeah.
shonk. Bit
Yep.
cheap.
Yep.
They think they're getting a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably gonna throw a party about it
Yeah.
Yeah.
on
Let's
the
hit the high seas.
on the cruise ship.
Made an amazing deal.
They're dancing a Venga bus.
Jigging and jiving to the tunes.
Jigging and jiving.
Yeah.
That's actually a legitimate reason to jig and jive.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
But so it's cursed durries.
Yep.
And it's been made into cigarettes. It's not just pouches of tobacco. It's like they've
By this
actually-
point, it's packeted, tailor-made cigarettes.
Right.
Okay. Right. Oh, they just got crates and crates of these pre-rolled.
They thought they're bringing crates. They're bringing crates of cigarettes on. That's not food that they're bringing on.
Ah,
Crates
yeah.
and they
That
like-
weird
they-
smell?
They like to smoke.
Yeah.
Most of them,
Most of them.
bar a few.
Bar a few.
So we
Which
have
will come back later.
We have a
Sure.
good couple of tobacco company execs that aren't
Yeah.
tainted.
Yeah.
Sure. A couple of survivors, if you will.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
they just go batshit crazy. There's like stabby.
Do we need to go further back though? We've established that the tobacco on the ship is cursed, but
Our venerable producer, Damo, had a pretty excellent idea in the car trip over here.
Right.
He was talking about how way back in the day, when big tobacco was first getting established, perhaps they made a deal with the devil. Like a pact with the devil, if you will.
if anyone's going to make a deal with the devil, it's a tobacco
It's
company.
big tobacco. So they said, look, we're going to do a really dodgy thing. We're going to set up this company that sells a product that basically kills our customers. So we're going to get shut down immediately unless Satan steps in and somehow keeps us afloat for years and years and years to come.
Yeah.
So that was back in the day. The deal was made that the tobacco company would get them so many souls. And every year, because people
There's a
were just
quota.
smoking, people were dying, Satan was happy.
Soul quota.
Nowadays, in this kale-fueled society where health is everything,
Yep.
smoking's starting to drop off. Satan's not getting his souls.
Right.
So instead of the usual deaths caused by smoking, perhaps once a year, this tobacco company organises this cruise as
Offering.
as an offering, a blood offering on the high seas.
So like a wicker man, but in a steel boat.
Yes.
Just
Very much.
the whole ship is sacrificed
Yeah.
to appease Satan.
Yes.
With Wicker Man, you kind of made me think of we have Nicolas Cage as the sea captain.
Well, there
Oh,
you go.
I mean, that's the perfect
That's,
captain.
Yeah.
You've just elevated it, sir.
I think-
Yeah.
Yep.
It's kicked up a notch.
Anyway, we'll get to casting later. That came to me.
No, I think
Put a pin in it.
Put a pin in it.
I think Cage is a perfect sea captain.
The tobacco companies, they control that they own the crew. Everyone's working for the tobacco companies.
Yeah. So
They've
where?
got the tobacco companies have their fingers in everything. Yeah.
But are the unruly tobacco execs, are they in on the plan or are they being sacrificed?
I think they're unwilling. Yeah. I think
I think
they
the
know.
vast majority would be pretty clueless to it. It'd be the high ups.
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
The real high ups.
Yeah.
Like we'd need some cantankerous,
Upper
crusty
management.
old upper management dude that's kind of like,
And he doesn't like durries. Like he's
Yeah.
a secret non-smoker.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, he's got one in his hand all the time.
just
he never
bum
smokes
puffing
it.
away,
Yeah, yeah.
never inhales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that's our premise,
Yep.
we've got tobacco company deal with the devil.
Yep.
We've got cursed tobacco on board.
Yep.
Who are we following? Who's our protagonists?
I was thinking of a burlesque dancer called La Tigra. Would be a good. No, but I mean,
There's nothing wrong with it.
the burlesque dancer was actually a good idea. It was just everything surrounding that was the worst thing I've ever heard.
The sirens, the
Yeah, that was
shape-shifting.
Shape-shifting. For no fucking reason. That's nothing about sirens that can
She had a
shape-shift.
tiger striped G-string.
Oh.
Did I not explain that bit?
You didn't.
Rewind the tape. Let's.
You didn't, and it doesn't make it better. But yeah, like a burlesque dancer is a good character. You know, she's physical and whatnot. You're thinking like Rose McGowan in Planet Terror?
Yeah.
You know, she's like jigging and jiving. She's jigging and jiving.
She jigs and jives
Oh,
hard.
Very pleasantly.
Well, how about like send her back on the ocean like a Kate Winslet as a slightly more experienced burlesque, maybe a madam of all the burlesque dancers.
Yeah.
She's been in
She's
the
like the
game
queen
for some
of
years.
burlesque dancers.
Yeah, and she goes on these cruises just to make sure shit doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah.
So maybe we're following
Has
Kate.
she seen some shit before?
She has seen
She
some
knows
shit.
some shit.
She heard stories of people turning into tigers for no
she's
real
had-
reason. And like she was
Guys
like,
aren't
that's
gonna
not
like
even narratively explained at all. That's like a really bad addition to any kind of lore.
They made a Friday the 13th film where a slug monster came out of a dude's mouth, so don't knock my La Tigra idea.
That is true.
It's not bad.
That is true.
All right, we've established that Josh's idea was horrendous and we shouldn't talk about it anymore.
Let's set it aside. Do it on another episode. Because Kate is a bit more experienced.
Yep.
She's been on these cruises before. She knows how messy they get. Maybe she doesn't partake like all the others. She keeps herself sober, straight, clear-minded.
Doesn't smoke.
Doesn't drink. So she's unaffected when all the shit goes down.
Right.
But she's saddened when there's no bingo.
Oh, she's would be.
She's about the age.
Yeah.
Age appropriate for bingo there.
She'd be right in the bingo.
Yeah.
So we've also got one of the tobacco execs, unknowing execs.
Sure.
He doesn't smoke. Everyone else smokes.
Yep.
So that prevents that saves him.
Maybe
They're gonna have to team
maybe he's
up.
a bit younger, a bit of a smart guy that's risen through the ranks a bit quicker.
Aziz
Ansari.
Ansari.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yep. There are two heroes.
Do we need anyone more in the hero? I mean, it's an unlikely pairing, those two. But I think there could be some
Do we
chemistry.
want? I mean, are we going to bring Cage back? Like, is that?
Oh yeah. Sorry. So what is Cage's role? We need to have Cage.
Well, he's going to be evil, right? Like Cage is going to be the captain that drives to Satan. He's like, I'm going to Satan. No, like he's really You just film all of Cage's scenes because he can just be, I'm the captain. He can just film all of Cage's scenes. Just give him a bag, whatever the hell he takes, like a beer. And just put the camera in there and close everything
Just a GoPro.
off. And just, whatever, man, whatever. We'll cut around you. You just do what you want.
Yeah. We'll make the film whatever happens after that.
Like in Mandy, in that scene where he just drinks the bottle of vodka, and it's equal parts heartbreaking and just baffling. Like it's just kind of like it's a really strong performance, but it's also like, dude, this has been going for like 9 minutes of just it is so unhinged.
Do you know he was completely sober for that film?
You know what? I actually believe it now.
Do you?
Yeah.
I was like, really?
I haven't seen it.
I think back in like leaving Las Vegas, leaving Las Vegas days, he was definitely partying. But I think he's been quite just batshit, genuine batshit.
Yeah,
late.
It's now just imbued in his flesh.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to drink.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So he can be like a captain. I mean, he doesn't really have to do a lot. He just needs to be kind of like a overlord of evil that's driving towards Satan. How are we representing Satan? I'm thinking special visual effects here. We're gonna have like a big Satan, like a whirlpool with like a big fucking Satan tank down the bottom, and like
pitchfork.
Oh, like a Bermuda Triangle Satan.
Yeah.
Like
you can have a sea Satan. You can't just have like land Satan.
Al Pacino. Devil's advocate.
No.
So who like are you thinking of a character actor to play Satan?
I mean, I was thinking special effects. But
Yeah.
I mean,
We can use
But you gotta have
we
someone
can use tiger
inside.
sounds for Satan. Like
Sorry?
in the sound mix.
Tiger sounds.
Well, with the roars of lions.
You're still
and
taking the
tigers.
piss out of my
I'm just
Latigra
trying
idea.
to integrate some of your
maybe
story.
when Satan's whirlpool appears, the sirens have to get out of the way. And like, guys, we forgot to summon Seamen again. We forgot to lead unwary sailors to their death again. You guys, we're really badly organized. Oh my god.
What's our finale to this? Like, what happens? How are we ending up? So obviously, the crew is aware and they begin the sacrifices.
Yep.
The Indians start going psycho because of the cursed tobacco, so they're losing their shit on one side.
Yeah.
So you got scary Indians running around. You got the crew who are trapping people into like I don't know death traps or just throwing poison at them. You got Stabberoo.
Yeah, I think
pools of
there
blood.
becomes a bit of a civil civil unrest with the Bogans versus the Indian. Like there becomes there's a lot of fighting.
Right.
Sure.
When mayhem ensues, it's just
Lord of the Flies.
It's just chaos.
Yeah.
And
Just around the buffet, just people like clawing each other's scalps off and shit.
Yeah.
Complimentary
like that last
dinner
half an
rolls
hour
and
of Dust of Dawn.
yeah.
So
Shit's
just
flying
homicidal
everywhere.
rage. That's what the tobacco calls, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And through that, Aziz and Kate kind of like ducking bodies and flying pieces of
trying
human.
to survive.
Yeah, sure. So how do we...
They're trying to get to the helm. They're trying to get to Cage.
Okay, right. They're trying to shut it all down or turn
Yeah,
around.
no, it's got to be the confrontation with Cage, right? So
Yep. That's our climax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you even kill Cage?
You can't.
How do you kill the weather?
I think Cage is the only one who's going to survive.
Do you?
He just turns into a whirlpool. He turns into like a sea tornado, and just like, how did he turn into a sea tornado? And Aziz Ansari, it's like it's just unlikely. It's a woman turning into a tiger just because her name is Latigra, and she has leopard print fucking G-string. Not even.
I was meant to say tiger skin. I misspoke. That is a great visual, though, like a hurricane that just every now and then Cage's face goes, whoa!
Not the bees!
Not the bees!
And just no explanation. Like, he just leaves the ship that way, and Aziz and Kate are like, fucking lifeboat, I guess? And he's like, no, bitch, I've seen what you're like with these fucking things. You take the whole... You could fit 9 DiCaprios on fucking these!
So easily.
Fuck you! And they go their separate ways.
Two lifeboats going in separate directions.
Yeah. Like, everyone's thought it was going to be a romance, but,
And what about everyone else on the boat? Everyone dead?
I think everyone's going to die.
So Cage turns into a hurricane.
Yeah.
A satanic sea cyclone.
Satanic sea cyclone.
Traveling at 666
miles per hour, of course.
Nice.
Of course.
Nice.
I love it. Have we got a title for this?
Satan's Seamen. Satan's Seamen. It's a hot load of terror.
Hot load.
Dot. Like right at the bottom.
Right at the bottom.
Of terror.
Yeah. That's great.
Satan's Seamen.
Yeah.
It's a hot load of terror.
But spelt CEAM.
Well, of course.
Not
It's not filthy.
Not filthy.
No. The film that we're basically pitching today is a cruise ship on the high seas, 1,300 tobacco employees, a few crates of cursed tobacco that send them into a blood rage of sorts.
Yep.
Meanwhile, there's also a satanic offering taking place, run by the captain of the boat, Nicolas Cage, who is part demon, part cyclone.
Yep.
The only two people who don't partake in the devil's tobacco are Kate Winslet and Aziz Ansari, who form an unlikely partnership. She's a burlesque dancer. He's a tobacco exec. They somehow survive their way through this and attempt to confront Cage, but he morphs into a cyclone at the end and sails off.
Well, because that's the realization that Nicolas Cage is Satan, and in human form, he's the captain of the ship.
Right.
But he becomes the cyclone because he is taking his natural form
of a satanic
Which
cyclone.
is cyclone, obviously.
Yeah.
Travelling at 666 miles per hour.
Jackie Weaver as one of the bogan.
Oh, she's a great bogan.
I tried to go to the buffet and I couldn't go there, and they were playing there. I suppose they call it music.
I just like an image of her. She's actually had one of the smokes, and she's bashing the person who's playing bingo. Just like bingo, like smashing the guy.
Legs 11, bitch. 2 fat ladies.
An angry Alf Stewart. Couldn't even play bingo. Fucking flaming mongrels.
But who's playing bingo on a cruise ship?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's
Just
so
root
baffling.
each other and drink too much.
Yeah.
I don't
This
even
is
know
why they
people-
end up filling up with like diarrhea. All these cruises. It's
It's just food poisoning, isn't it? That's
just because the food's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And
recycled.
Playing bingo and bad food, and it's just your arsehole implodes. That's science, boys.
That is science.
That's science.
That's the real horror story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the true story that this is all based on. This is all actually an allegory for massive dysentery.
Anal trauma.
It's massive anal trauma.
Yeah.
We're like, Lucio Fulci did it with eyes.
Sure.
We'll do it with clackers.
Yeah.
It'll be rectal trauma all the way.
I think we missed an opportunity to have a weird engine room guy
Oh, like a Crazy Ralph? Kind of like a doomsayer, if you will?
covered in grease, like a...
You're all doomed.
You're
if you
gonna
carry
Yeah.
Who can we cast as that? Like a...
We get an Aussie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's bring an Aussie in.
Yeah,
we need a wizened old, maybe a Bruce Spence.
Oh, yeah, Bruce Spencer.
Is he
go
still
all right.
alive?
You could just get Peter Dutton. and just smear him in oil. Nice.
Engine oil.
And just smear him in engine oil.
Yeah.
And just have him, he starts going, because he's already going to be freaked out by all the brown people around. He's like, they're coming here on the boats. We're meant to stop the boats. We're meant to stop the boats.
Josh, you really couldn't let that leopard thing go.
Latigra, mate. She was wearing a leopard skin bikini. Her name was... I think it's got legs. I think it'll be a great episode. Coming up next week, the full 3-hour version of Latigra, Stories from the Deep.
We have got a good episode next week, though. A brand new original episode based on our good mate, well, we don't know him at all, Jim Penman. Jim's mowing.
He decided to secede from Victoria and head down to Tasmania to set up
his own micronation.
A weird commune. I don't know what his plan was. It was during COVID. He was very angry with Dan Andrews.
Yeah, so it makes for a great episode. It was called, I think we called it Behind Enemy Lawns.
Behind Enemy Lawns.
Yeah. So until then, don't forget to flush.
See you, cunts.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
He jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted inwards like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fool.
Real nice. Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as seals.
Shut up. No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Zitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Round Carpet Podcast.
Now we're live.
We make a movie poster for it. That is unbelievable.
Fuck's sake.
So you get
This is
to
what
choose
every week.
which movie gets
It's this
brown
level of
leaf,
professionalism.
versus
Hang on.
Turn it down.
Sorry.
Look at this. Ready to go.
Talk. Don't be a dickhead.
To savage the Indian rapists who did her dirty.
I'm not sure about this at all. I got big balls.
I'm going to straddle
Josh is really super weird about touching. He doesn't...
Which is weird, because he's like all sporty and showering with boys and whatnot.
That's not what we do.
Is it not, though?
You're making it weird for him.
Sorry.
This is the most uncomfortable seating arrangement I have ever experienced. Do we look at the camera?
Hi, welcome to the Brown Carpet Podcast.
Let me know when you got the video going, Damo.
I feel like the moment we walked in here, you guys have just copped an attitude with me. It's like, out there we were all cool.
Yeah.
As soon as the
Well,
mic's
now
on.
we're literally warm.
Yeah, it's going to get hotter too.
Is this live?
It's going to be
too?
moist.
Yeah, it's live.
Going live on
mate.
Facey.
Mate,
Look at you, you're like this.
Can I leave comments?
Yeah.
This is going really badly.
This is awful.
Why is the middle guy sitting so weirdly? Who is he? He looks like you grabbed a hobo.
Josh keeps touching my leg.
Let's roll up.
Hey!
Huh?
Give us all.
I can linger, you cunts.
Like a pro.
Uh,
I've done it before.
uh,
Don't touch my knee again.
I'm sorry, mate.
All right, sorry about that. I was listening to... welcome!
Hey, Hitler, what's the matter, little guy?
Satan, du Dutton bei Sheet Blatter.
Oh, you don't have a Christmas tree?